Bonjour, bienvenue au French Tech Podcast. Welcome to the French Tech Podcast, still here on the second day of the big Data World Conference in Singapore. Very happy to welcome Christopher Skene from Platform SH. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
Could I ask you to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Chris. I work for a French company, which is why we're here, called Platform SH. You may have noticed that I'm not myself French.
Neither am I.
No,
so,
okay,
yeah.
good. So we're all friends. Platform SH is a platform as a service for web applications. Primarily what it does is it allows web developers in big companies to automate and standardize the way in which they build and deploy applications up into the cloud. And it does so in a way that is very simple to use, oriented towards the work patterns of those developers, but also extends kind of really great compliance and control that an organization wants to have. Yeah, so it gives you developers freedom to work while also maintaining that level of compliance over the top.
That's a great combination.
It's really important.
Yeah. And the problem that you're addressing is particularly important for bigger organizations, right? That might manage a fleet of applications or a whole bunch of websites.
Yeah, it's a problem that any organization of size is going to have, right? But it's a problem that becomes increasingly difficult the larger you become. So there's a Forrester report that says that most enterprises have over 250 web properties, right? So we're talking on average a very large number of digital properties in large organizations. Once you start to get up to those sizes, you're dealing with proliferation of technologies. So you start to get, we have some Java stuff over here, and we have some .NET stuff over there, and we have Python over here, and we don't have a consistent way of managing that.
Right.
But really, in order to get the benefits of scale, we want that, right? We want to be able to have a consistent deployment process. We want to be able to have a consistent Q&A process.
Yeah.
We want to know that across the board we're secure. So Platform SH solves that problem by providing a technology agnostic deployment tool that goes right up into cloud hosting. So as an organization, you can run all of those different projects at the same time, in the same tech stack, and not worry about the details of security or compliance or uptime. Those sorts of things are solved by the platform.
Do you run completely as a platform as a service, or do you provide consultancy for some companies that are particularly big? Or?
We run completely as a platform as a service. We do provide a little bit of consultancy to help customers determine whether it's the right fit for them.
Right.
We don't consult in such a way that they end up on another platform.
So you're running your company out of Australia, correct?
So the Asia Pacific team is mostly based in Australia. Yeah, the company itself is based out of Paris and San Francisco. So we have two headquarters. Yeah. Paris and San Francisco. Our CEO and CTO are in San Francisco. A lot of the rest of our team is in Paris. But we're an interesting company in the sense that we're fully remote. So all of our workers are remote workers. They all work from home or co-working spaces around the world. All currently 150 of them. So they can be based wherever they like. So I manage business development in Asia Pacific, but I do it from Canberra in Australia.
That's fantastic. And you're 100% remote.
100% remote. Yes. Yeah. There's a few tech companies that are doing this. GitLab's another one that famously does it as well. So that's how we manage it. So when people say, "Oh, you're based here," we go, "Well,
sort of.
We're based everywhere."
Could you speak to some of the advantages and complexities of being completely remote?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there are definitely challenges involved. I think some of the main challenges of it are the tendency to silo very quickly, because you're not able to just rock up and have a chat around the coffee machine. You don't always get that cross pollination that can occur, and so we see a little bit of siloing occurring, perhaps earlier than it might do in a bigger company. Perhaps for individuals too, maybe they'd be a little bit lonely sometimes. So you have to find ways to manage that for yourself. But on the positive side, it really means that a lot of those expectations around being physically in a place, the negative expectations, let's say, around do you just turn up and warm a chair for a while, they go away. So you have better control over your working hours and you much better work-life balance for the people in the company, and we think that leads to much higher productivity, because they're actually they work when they want to work.
Yeah, exactly. It also allows you to scale in certain areas much easier, right? You can onboard people no matter where they are.
It does. So we're able to bring talent in anywhere in the world, wherever we find a person that is a fit for the job. There are some restrictions, obviously. Salesperson needs to be in the right territory, but beyond that, we certainly in the engineering teams, we're able to bring in the good people where they are rather than where we want them to be.
And more those tech profiles and the talents that you want to have in your company are also looking for these kinds of ways of working, right?
Yeah, I think they are. Someone who is really good at their job and has a great skill set, and let's just say maybe they have their own selling power within the job market,
exactly.
right? They're going to be out there looking for companies that are going to support them to do what they want to do. They're not coming to our company because we're a great company. They might be, but they're going to come because we're offering them something as well.
Especially in the tech space, hiring has become more about selling than it is about selecting, I guess.
I think absolutely, yeah. And it also allows us to maybe select, if you've heard of the idea of a T-shaped person,
yes,
a person who has a very deep skill in one area but then a broad skill across other areas as well, we can pick them up, and that gives us more flexibility within the company. People can move around.
So we're recording this here in Singapore, Southeast Asia.
Yep.
Could you talk about what, in your opinion, is the most exciting opportunity here in the market right now?
Sure. Look, Southeast Asia is really interesting. I think I said before, we started talking. For me, Southeast Asia is the most vibrant and interesting tech market in the world at the moment. It has very interesting growth trajectories in different countries. There's a lot of dynamism. And of course, with growth, you're going to see opportunities for business, right?
Yeah.
The challenge there is that each one of the markets, each one of the countries is different. The people are different. The needs are different. The maturity for different kinds of products is different. So the challenge is really finding ways in which to get into each one of these markets and meet people on their terms. I'm a big fan of trying to talk to people in a market in a way that they expect to be talked to.
Right.
Not to come in and go, "Hello, I'm from Australia. G'day, mate.
Yeah.
Would you like to buy some internet?" Because that's funny, and that'll make them laugh. But then a few minutes later, they're going to get really sick of that. So yeah. So that's the challenge. The challenge is building a comprehensive offer across all of those markets.
That's a very interesting point, and it's something that a lot of companies here find challenging. Is there also, I know that your platform is tech agnostic, but do you also find that in terms of technology there's a difference between the different geographical locations?
Yeah, there can be. I think possibly, for a company that's coming from a largely US and EU market, we deal with a lot of large open source projects in those markets.
Right.
For us as a company, we have a long history with Drupal, the open source software Drupal, but we also work with Easy Platform, Typo 3, Symfony, Magento. We have an association with all these projects which have been open source for most of their life. There's less of that happening in Southeast Asia. There's a lot of people using it, but the community around it is different.
Right,
so this requires us to really adapt our strategy quite a bit, and to look at different ways of engaging and talking to people.
Right, of different ways of engaging that audience and building that relationship.
Yeah. Because the methods that we might have used in the US, they don't work here.
And those are really very interesting sales challenges and business development challenges here in the region, where you have this fragmentation, you have these differences of culture, approach. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's. I hesitate to say it's a maturity thing, because I don't feel like that's quite the right word. It's not about maturity. It's about whether or not the communities have formed around these pieces of software.
Right. Yeah.
They just haven't done that for whatever reason in most of these Southeast Asian countries. They may do, over the next 5-10 years. And we may see communities around new things. Like we see a sort of a Kubernetes community in a way forming. that may grow, it may go away.
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't know if anyone can predict where the market's going to go in the next 5 or 10 years, but it'll be very interesting to watch and see.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Really appreciate it. I hope you're having fun here at the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's wonderful to see so many different organizations here and to see French tech as well. It's fantastic.
It's our pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.